Hi, I'm Gary Rubenstein, and I want to show you a couple of mental math tricks that I've learned from various sources over the years, and just wanted to show a few of them. If you want to be a mental mathematician, you want to impress your friends, or just make yourself look really smart, I'm going to show you a few of the tricks that I've learned over the years. So, first thing I want to mention about mental math is that when you're adding like a 3-digit number, something like that. So in like regular school, they teach you to line them up and to add the ones placed together. 7 plus 4 is 11, and you put the 1 here and you carry the 1, and then you add the 1 plus the 2 is 3 plus 5, which is 8, and no carry necessary for that one. That's what you learn in regular school. And I suppose you could do math in your head that way for adding, but look at what happens. You ended up getting the numbers in backwards order, like you got the 1 first. And it's not that impressive of a trick if someone says, hey, what's 327 plus 54? And you say 183, but backwards. That's not going to impress your audience. So the difference between mental math and pencil and paper math, at least for a question like this, is that you're better off going from left to right. And by that, I mean you do 327 plus 54. You do not add the 4 first, but you add the 50 first. So what you do in your mind, you say 327 plus 50 is 377. And then you add on the 4. 77 plus 4 is 81, and you get 381. Now, adding 77 plus 4 to get 81, you might say, well, doesn't that require 77 plus 4, put a 1 here, carry? Well, not really. You see, 77 plus 4 is such a small number, and hopefully you're able to sort of just imagine, what's 4 more than 77. They're so close together that you want to be able to go from 77 to 81 and just kind of see that happens without thinking about carrying the 1. There are some, if it's not like obvious to you that 77 plus 4 is 81, a good way to think about it is that you think, well, 77 needs 3 more to get to 80, but we're not adding 3, we're adding 4. So then you could think of 4 as 3 plus 1, and to get 77 plus 4 is 77 plus 3, which is 80 plus 1 is 81. However it is, left to right is the way that you want to do that. Maybe now I'm going to just do 3 digits plus 2 digits for right now. Here's something with like 2 that would require 2 carries. 578 plus 65. So you say in your mind 578 plus 60. Now it's kind of like 57 plus 6 is 63. So you go to 638. That's 578 plus 60. But then you still have to add on the 5. So 630. I'm even going to write plus 5, even though you don't have to think that in your mind. You can see the 6 representing 60 and the 5 there. 38 plus 5 is 43. So 643. So the first mental math trick is that you should add from left to right. In this case, add the tens place first and then the ones place, as opposed to your standard way, going right to left with pen and paper. Now, same thing goes with subtraction. So again, by comparison, 432 minus 18. In the basic pencil paper subtraction, you'd say, well, 2 minus 8 I can't do. 2 is not big enough, so I'm going to borrow, as they say. Borrowing is really taking one of the tens. In this case, there are 3 tens here. Now there are just 2. and giving one of those 10s to the 2, which makes it a 12, and 12 minus 8 is 4, and now 2 10s, 2 10s minus 1 10 is 1 10. That's standard pencil and paper, but for our purposes, it's better to think of it, basically to think of it as 432 minus 10 and then minus 8. So 432 minus 10 is 422. And now subtracting it, you might say, well, subtracting 8's not like so obvious to me, that 12 minus 8 is 4, or 22 minus 8, is 14. So if you're having trouble seeing why 22 minus 8 is 14, the 4 doesn't matter at that point, but you can say 422. You could think of 8 as taking away 2 first, 2 because that would make this into a 0, and then taking away the other 6. There's a lot going on in your mind when you're thinking 8 is 2 plus what, but these numbers are pretty small, so with practice, hopefully they become kind of second nature to you. But if you want to do it 422 minus 8 in steps, you could do 422 minus 2, which is 420 minus 6. And 6 plus 4 is 10. So when you're taking away 6, you're ending up with 14. If we can work it so that there's a 0 right here, then it's kind of easy to be taking away 6 in that way, because 6 and 4 are 10. Some other addition and subtraction tricks that you might like. If you're adding something that's very close to a multiple of 10, like 19, you could, instead of adding 19, you could add 20 and then take away 1, which is the same thing as adding 19. So 452 plus 19 is kind of annoying, even if you're doing it from left to right, 452, 462, 471. But if I go this way, 452 plus 20 is 472. And then taking away 1 is easy because there's no... If we're trying to avoid carrying when we add the 19, the subtraction problem that we get is not going to have any so-called borrowing in it. So you could add by converting it into adding a simpler number, but you end up subtracting something. And the same thing goes for subtraction. 452 minus 19 is kind of annoying. But if we do minus 20 and then plus 1, we go from 452 minus 20, which is 432 plus 1, which is 433. Now, if a number is close to 100, let's say I'm adding 84, or while I'm at it, if I'm subtracting 84. Just like we're able to pretty easily think, here, what would I need to add to 6 to get 10? Here, I'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. We don't have too much trouble finding the pairs of numbers that add up to 10. So 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 4 plus 6, 2 plus 8, 3 plus 7, 1 plus 9, 7 plus 3, 4 plus 6, 8 plus 2. Those are things that add up to 10. So sometimes we call this number sort of like the complement. 3 is the complement of 7 because they add up to 10. Well, it's also useful to know what you have to add to something to get 100. Now, it ends up being 16. A good way to think of this is 84, how many 10s would I need to get it to be in the 90s? And the answer is 1, because 8 plus 1 is 9. And then, now it's 94 at that point. This is like 10. And then I want to make a 0 at the end, so I have to know what do I have to add to 4 to make a 10. And it's 16. You could do that for anything. So for like 64, we want 30. That gets me to 94, 6. Or if I had like 72, I would need 20 to get to 92, but then 8 more to get to 100. So if I have this 2-digit number, 84, close to 100, I could just instead add 100 and take away 16, which is 557 minus 16, which I can do by taking away 10 to get 547, and then finally the 6. Or maybe you do more of those steps in your head or skip them. So now with subtracting something that's close to 100, we could subtract 100, but that's taking away too much, so we have to add back the 16. So that's 357 plus 16. I'm writing stuff, but this is all what would happen in your head. And when you add the 16, it's good to go from left to right. So 357 plus 16, first you do 357 plus 10, which is 367, but you still have to add 6, and you get 373. So this is all I wanted to do for the first video, just adding and subtracting. But there's going to be about 6 videos, and it will build up to multiplying a 3-digit number times another 3-digit number, and various tricks for multiplying. So it's just just for fun, little series. Maybe you want to get better at your mental math.